Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Unlocked. I'm Peter. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful skills you can ever master: speaking clearly and confidently in English. Have you ever felt that your words don't come out the way you want? Or that people lose interest halfway through your sentence? You're not alone. In this video, I'll show you 3 things that will change how you speak forever: how to use pauses like a pro, how to sound more confident and natural, and how to organize your thoughts so your message always lands. These are habits used by top communicators, and you can start practicing them today. So, do you want to discover how to make your voice truly connect with others? Stay until the end, and if you enjoy learning with me, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video so you won't miss more powerful lessons from English Unlocked. I'm Peter, and I've been learning and teaching English for more than 10 years. Today, I want to talk with you like a friend, not like a teacher. I remember when I started learning English, I always felt nervous when I spoke. My words came out fast, my ideas were not clear, and people sometimes looked confused. Have you ever felt that too? It's okay. We all start there. One big lesson I learned is that speaking clearly is not about using big words. It's about slowing down, pausing, and giving your thoughts time to breathe. When you pause, people can understand you better. It's like giving space between your ideas, just like white space on a page. At first, I thought speaking fast made me sound smart. But I was wrong. When I slowed down, people started to listen more. They said my words had power, and that made me feel more confident. So, if you ever feel that your English sounds messy or unclear, remember this: you don't need to rush. Take a breath. Say one idea at a time. It's not about being perfect. It's about being clear and being real. That's how you connect with people when you speak. In the next part, I'll share how I learned to make my voice stronger and how to use it with confidence. But first, take a moment to think about this. When was the last time you really paused to let your words land? We talked about slowing down and speaking clearly. Now, let's talk about something very important: your voice. When I first started learning English, I was afraid to use my voice. I spoke very quietly, almost like whispering. I thought if I made a mistake, people would laugh at me. But one day, I met a teacher who told me, "Peter, your voice is your power." Those words changed me. I began to practice speaking louder, even when I was alone. I read books out loud, I talked to myself in front of the mirror, and yes, sometimes I even sang English songs in the shower. It felt strange at first, but little by little, my voice became stronger. And something amazing happened. I started to feel more confident. My friends began to say, "Wow, Peter, you sound different now." That made me smile. So, if you feel shy when you speak English, remember this: your voice matters. Don't hide it. Even if you make mistakes, keep talking. The more you use your voice, the more natural it becomes. Your English doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. It just needs to be yours. In the next part, we'll talk about how to make your English sound more natural, not like a textbook, but like real life. But before that, take a deep breath and say one English sentence out loud right now. Go on, I'm proud of you. But in the last part, we talked about using your voice with confidence. Now, let's talk about how to make your English sound more natural. When I was a new learner, I spoke like a robot. Every word was perfect, but it didn't sound real. People could understand me, but they didn't feel connected. I wanted to sound like a real person, not like a textbook. One day, I started listening carefully to how native speakers talked. They didn't always speak perfectly. Sometimes they stopped, used short words, or said, or, you know. At first, I thought that was wrong, but then I realized that's how people really speak. So I began to copy short phrases from movies and podcasts. Simple things like, you know what I mean, or that's nice, or really. I used them in daily life, and slowly, my English started to sound alive. I also learned to use my face and hands when I talked. When I smiled or used my hands, my English felt more natural. It wasn't just about words, it was about feeling. And when I felt good, my English flowed more easily. So if you want to sound natural, don't only study grammar. Listen, copy, and feel the language. It's okay to make small mistakes. People care more about your meaning than your grammar. In the next part, I'll share how I learned to think in English, not in my own language. That was a big turning point for me, and it can be for you too. In the last part, we talked about sounding natural when you speak English. Now, let's talk about something that many learners want, thinking in English. I remember the time when I always translated in my head. First, I thought in my own language, then I tried to change the words into English. It was slow, and sometimes I forgot what I wanted to say. Oh, it was so stressful. One day, my teacher said, "Peter, stop translating. Start living in English." At first, I didn't understand what that meant. But then I tried something small. I began to name things around me in English: table, door, phone. I talked to myself in English when I walked or cooked. I even thought simple thoughts in English, like, I'm hungry, or, it's a nice day. After some time, something amazing happened. English started to feel natural. I didn't have to translate anymore. The words came faster, and my mind felt lighter. So if you still translate every word, don't worry. Start small. Use English in your daily life, one thought at a time. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to practice often. Think in English, live in English, and your brain will start to change. In the next part, I'll tell you how I learned to listen better, because good speaking always starts with good listening. In the last part, we talked about thinking in English. Now, let's talk about something just as important: listening. When I first learned English, I didn't like listening practice. People spoke too fast, and I could not understand most of the words. It made me feel sad and sometimes even angry. I thought, maybe I will never understand English. But then I changed the way I listened. I stopped trying to understand every single word. Instead, I listened for the main idea, just the big picture. I watched short videos, cartoons, and podcasts for kids. Their words were simple, and they spoke slowly. Every day, I listened for 10 or 15 minutes, even when I didn't understand everything. And little by little, my ears got used to English sounds. It was like training my brain to hear in a new way. I also learned to enjoy it. I listened to songs I liked and tried to catch 1 or 2 new words each time. When I understood a sentence, I felt so happy. That small success gave me energy to keep going. So if you feel lost when people speak English, don't give up. You don't need to understand every word, just keep listening. Over time, your ears will open, and English will start to sound clear. In the next part, I'll share how I used reading to grow my English faster, and how you can do it too. In the last part, we talked about listening and how it helps your brain get used to English sounds. Now, let's talk about another great way to grow your English: reading. When I was learning English, I didn't like reading at first. The books were too hard, and I didn't understand many words. I felt bored and tired after just a few minutes. But one day, I found a small book with easy English and short stories. That book changed everything. I started reading one page each day. If I didn't know a word, I didn't stop right away. I tried to guess the meaning from the story. Sometimes I was wrong, but that was okay. Step by step, I understood more and more. Reading became fun. I learned new words, new ideas, and even new ways to think. Later, I began reading news for kids and simple articles online. It helped me see how English is used in real life. I also read things I liked, stories about travel, food, or music. When you read what you love, learning feels easy. You don't need to read big books or hard grammar texts. Start small, read every day, and your English will grow naturally. So, if listening helps you understand sounds, reading helps you build words and ideas. In the next part, I'll tell you how writing helped me make my English stronger and more personal, just like keeping a small diary in English every day. In the last part, we talked about reading and how it helps your English grow. Now, let's talk about another powerful habit: writing. When I was a new learner, I didn't write much in English. I was afraid of making mistakes. I thought, my grammar is bad, my sentences are wrong. So I avoided writing. But one day my teacher told me, "Peter, don't write to be perfect. Write to express yourself." That simple advice changed me. I started small. Every night before bed, I wrote 3 sentences in a small notebook. Simple things like, "Today I went to work," "I ate noodles," or "I feel tired." It was easy, and it helped me use English for my real life. After some time, I wrote more: short stories, my plans, my dreams. When I read my old notes, I saw how much I had improved. It made me feel proud. Writing also helped me remember new words better. When I wrote them down, they stayed longer in my mind. And I began to understand grammar naturally, not from rules, but from practice. So, if you want your English to grow faster, start writing a few lines each day. Don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Your English is your voice, and writing helps you make that voice stronger. In the next part, I'll share how speaking with other people, real conversations, helped me become more confident and fluent. In the last part, we talked about writing and how it helps your English grow. Now, let's talk about something very special: speaking with real people. For a long time, I was too shy to talk to others in English. I thought, what if they don't understand me? What if I say something wrong? So I stayed quiet. But my English didn't improve much because I wasn't using it in real life. One day, I met a tourist in my city. He asked me for directions in English. At first, I was scared, but I decided to try. I spoke slowly and used simple words. He understood me and smiled. That moment made me so happy. I realized that English is not just about studying, it's about connection. After that, I started looking for people to talk with. I joined small English clubs and talked online with friends from other countries. Sometimes I made mistakes, sometimes I forgot words, but it didn't matter. Every conversation made me stronger. And slowly, English started to feel like part of my life. So, don't be afraid to speak. Even short talks can help you a lot. People don't expect you to be perfect, They just want to communicate, speak, smile, and enjoy the moment. In the next part, I'll share how I stayed motivated when learning felt hard, and how you can keep going even when you want to quit. In the last part, we talked about speaking with real people and how it helps you feel more confident. Now, let's talk about something that every learner needs: motivation. Learning English is not always easy. There are days when you feel tired or bored. Sometimes you study hard, but you don't see results. I know that feeling very well because I felt it too. There were times I wanted to stop learning. I thought, maybe English is too hard for me. But then I remembered why I started. I wanted to travel, make new friends, and open more doors in life. That reason gave me strength to keep going. So, I made small goals instead of big ones. For example, learning 5 new words a day, or watching 1 English video. When I reached those small goals, I felt proud of myself. And that small success pushed me forward. I also made learning fun. I watched movies I liked, listened to songs, and learned from stories. Learning English became a part of my daily life, not just schoolwork. And slowly my English got better, and I became happier. So if you ever feel like giving up, remember this: progress takes time. Don't look at how far you still have to go, look at how far you've come. You're learning step by step, and that's amazing. In the next and final part, I'll share the biggest lesson I learned after 10 years. The real secret of learning English well and keeping it for life. In the last part, we talked about motivation and how to keep going when learning feels hard. Now, we come to the last part of our journey, the biggest lesson I learned after 10 years of learning English. It's simple but very powerful. Learning English is not just about words, grammar, or exams. It's about people, stories, and connection. When I first started, I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to sound like a native speaker. But after many years, I realized that being perfect doesn't matter. What matters is being able to share your ideas, your feelings, and your heart. English is a bridge. It helps you meet new people, learn new things, and see the world in a new way. I've met friends from many countries because of English. We talk, laugh, and share our dreams. Sometimes our grammar is not perfect, but our connection is real. And that's the true beauty of language. So, if you are learning English, don't focus only on being good. Focus on using English to live, to grow, and to connect. Every word you learn is one more step toward a bigger world. Be patient, be kind to yourself, and keep going. Thank you for listening to this journey with me. I hope my story helps you believe that you can do it too. Keep learning, keep speaking, and never stop unlocking your English. And before we finish, let me share 2 simple tips that really helped me on this journey. First, use English every day, even in small ways like thinking, writing, or talking to yourself. Second, don't wait to be perfect. Start speaking now. Mistakes are part of learning. If today's story inspired you, make sure to subscribe to English Unlocked so you won't miss more lessons and real stories like this. Thank you so much for learning with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.